Alright guys, hey guys, welcome back to another episode. This is my first Arrowverse recap in the new house. So without further ado, let me get right into it. So, Arrow, part 4. This is the second half. So, we go back to the planet Malthus 10,000 years ago, and it's the origin of Monitor. You're not the Anti-Monitor, because, hey, his goal was to get to the dawn of time on his universe, but then when he got into the temporal zone, he kind of got hit with like antimatter, and then went into an antimatter universe, and that was the opposite universe, and so he created the Anti-Monitor. And then we cut to Ryan writing to his daughter about everyone there. That in Flash is missing. He's in the Speed Force. He left 2 seconds ago, but then came back a month later. That's why Ryan Choi has the beard. Lex and Ryan Choi have been making a machine to try to get them out of the temporal zone, but it Lex tests the machine and it fails. Then we get an Oliver fighting montage, and then it cuts to Oliver as the Spectre, and then we go back to the Paragons in the temporal zone, and so it's Flash versus the Paragons because he's like, I gotta get back to the Speed Force. But then Oliver comes and is like, the Speed Force is key to stopping Anti-Monitor, and so in this case we can say that speed is key. All the Jacksepticeye fans that are never on my YouTube channel. Speed is key! Okay. Anyway, but Oliver unlocked Barry's full potential. We learned that later in the episode. Ryan, Lex, and Supergirl are on Malthus, but everyone else, when he dropped them off, Anti-Monitor grabbed Barry and threw everyone throughout memories or whatever. Lex disappears. They land. Ryan talks to Supergirl a little bit, and then Lex just runs away, of course. And Oliver is keeping memories of the Paragons so that they will not fall out of the Speed Force to the antimatter, which will kill them. And then Barry runs, and then he's in Star Labs, but then he hears another dude, which is the DC's Universe Flash, and that's when he gets his name. Like, I'm the Flash, and then he goes the Flash, and then it's like basically how he got his name, basically thing. Lex is looking around. He has a bigger plan. He shoots Ryan Choi and Supergirl and is like, my plan is for universal domination. John is at the Invasion crossover. Kate wakes up in Palmer Tech and sees Oliver there. Ryan talks about not having powers, and then Kara inspires him to try more. Barry is at the Elseworlds crossover and saw what he didn't see. He saw Oliver use an arrow and was like, you talked to the Anti-Monitor to save me and Kara. Yeah. Elseworlds Oliver remembers and is like, everything is gone. Then Barry runs over to Sarah's death when Sarah died, and then she wakes up and he's like, boop, boop, I remembered. And then, yeah. Lex is at the portal place from earlier in the episode. Lex tries to save World by not making Anti-Monitor, so that's basically what it is. But then Supergirl comes in and it's like, stop right there. Barry revives Sarah. John talks about change. What? When did John talk about? But then Oh, John talks about change to the invasion crossover people. And then Kate sees the pattern of Oliver, like he goes into a pattern of not trusting people and then trusting people. But then Ryan tells Monitor not to travel, but then there's like a multiverse of people, and so there's another reality where Monitor does go, I guess. Lex versus Supergirl. Yes, Lex has powers. Paragons are at the dawn of time. The Paragons are versus the Shadow Demons, and Oliver versus the Anti-Monitor. Fan the flames. Oliver told them to fan the flames. So to fan the flames, they have to use the book and the Paragons. Then it does Oliver's actual death, and then the whole universe is saved with his sacrifice. Now, their missions were Barry's mission was get team to the dawn of time. Oliver's mission was to remember team. Lex was universal domination, and Paragons are stop Anti-Monitor. At the end, I'll get to the quote, like I did last time. Legends, Part 5, their missions. John's mission was make heroes remember the event, and the Paragon's mission was stop Anti-Monitor and a Big Bebop. Kara wakes up in her hotel room. At first this looks like a pre-crisis world, and Kara thinks it was a dream. And then the Nobel Prize goes to Lex Luthor. And Nia is there, and Nia is happy that Lex is getting the reward. I'm going through this way too fast. I'm sorry, but you guys got to keep up, and you can watch it for yourself. And then Alex tells Kara that Lex is the best guy in the world. Lex is the boss of the DEO. I need to punch something. Oh, that was a quote that I didn't put, but Kara, something blinks and I'll send a team, but then Kara's like, no, I got this, so I'll go. And yeah. And that was Weather Witch. The blimp was Weather Witch, and so Weather Witch versus Supergirl, but then Flash comes and stops Weather Witch, and then they're like, what are you doing on my Earth? What are you doing? What are you doing on my Earth? And so yeah. Kara and Barry are on the same Earth, and since forever. Sewer workers find Nash. Ray doesn't remember, but then Paragons only know the change. And then John restores Ray's memories. Sarah goes to look for Oliver at the bunker, and then Team Arrow all know, like Diggle, Renee, and Diana, they all know. Diggle thinks he failed Oliver. Sarah has hope that Oliver is still alive when the rest of the team didn't. John goes to Star Labs and restores Kaylin and Nash memories, and he's like, it's all because of you! And then back in Star City, Bebo attacks Big Bebo. Wally told Barry about Big Bebo from Legends. Ava and Nate are on the ship, and then they're like, do you need our help? And Sarah's like, nope. Mick is in town at a signing for his book. But then they try to stop Bebo, but it just like rips through like it was magic or something. And then Barry's like, don't you guys deal with this stuff all the time? And then, actually no, Kate shows up and Kara's excited about Kate being there. Bebo was a diversion for a magician guy. Nash comes to the bunker to warn the team about the antimatter spike. But then it goes to Sarah and Barry, with Sarah remembering how normal things were before everything. Barry talks about loss of family, and then Shadow Demons are back hunting Paragon, and so Sarah runs to Ryan and saves Ryan. Anti-Monitor is alive. To stop Auntie, we send him into the microverse. And then Ryan's like, we gotta protect what Oliver gave us. Then the demons, the shadow demons are at one port, and then they all swarm together and they form the Anti-Monitor. The Brain Squad have to make a machine. And then they're also protected by Frost, Mick, and Jefferson. Everyone yells for, or everyone says for Oliver when the Anti-Monitor's there. It's like, da 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 da. And then Sarah's like, for Oliver, for Oliver, for Oliver, for Oliver, for Oliver. Yeah. And then the Sky Team, and then there's a big battle, and then he's like, hits everyone away, and then he grows ginormous, and then so the Sky Team are versus the bigger Anti-Monitor, which is Supergirl, Superman, and Manhunter, and because Adam is helping build the machine. But then they're like, we need faster hands, and so Barry runs over and finishes the device. And so Ray joins the battle and gives the little device to Kara, and then he says, throw it like a girl, and Kara throws it, hits Anti-Monitor, and Anti-Monitor is destroyed. And then there's President's speech with everyone watching, and then Diggle now has 2 kids, and then apparently Lex and Superman, no, not Lex, Lois and Superman have 2 kids. New multiverse narrated by Oliver, which is Earth 2 is the Star Girl and the JSA. Earth 12 is Green Lantern. Earth 19 is Swamp Things. Earth 9 is the Titans Earth, and Earth 21 is Doom Patrol. And now Earth 96, Kingdom Come Superman is still alive. Now Earth Prime equals all show Earth. So like Batwoman, Black Lightning, Legends, Supergirl, teams say they're all good. They're goodbyes to Oliver. And then there's the team chairs and table. Oliver reveals a whole table and chairs for the Justice League. They're not calling it the Justice League. They haven't said anything, but it might be just Super Friends or something like that. And then a monkey escapes, and it's like, what we better call Pest Control. And then Gleek the monkey was like a cliffhanger for it, and I'm like, why is Gleek a cliffhanger? Like, other people were wondering the same thing. Like, why was Gleek a cliffhanger? Yeah. And so Arrow, Arrow's quote is, Oliver, you have failed this universe. And then Legends, Barry says, Legends episode, Barry says, family is not just the people you grow up with. It's the people you find. Both of these, Arrow's quote from Oliver is cool, because instead of you have failed this city, he says you have failed this universe. And then that just comes from a great speech from Barry, because then Sarah's like, yeah, the Legends are my family. And because Barry's, like, his team is his family. And, okay, also, he mentioned his mom and father, but I didn't catch him say daughter. So, about him talking about loss. And so, yeah. So, yeah. Supergirl, Batwoman, and Legends are back next week. And Arrow is also back next week, but Flash is not back until February 14th, until Arrow is done. So, alright guys, hope you guys liked this episode. If you guys did, please leave a big like down below. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Peace.